Blender 4.0, I have a fresh install over here. So let's see, what is the most important add-in that we can consider for Blender, and that is BlenderKit. I will start Blender 4.0. And now in order to enable BlenderKit, we have to go to blenderkit.com. We're gonna see over here that functionality. So we have the input search at the top, and we can rapidly add various 3D model materials and so on. So let's see how we can make this work within Blender. We need to download the BlenderKit. We're gonna see that I already had this downloaded several times, so I will just click save. Currently in November, BlenderKit should be around 7.5 megabytes. And let's see how we can enable this within Blender. I'm gonna jump back within Blender, go to Edit, Preferences, and we're gonna have the add-on section over here on the right. I'm gonna choose Install an add-on at the top, and I will choose that package that we just downloaded, so that zip archive for BlenderKit. Once you have that installed, you can also filter over here by BlenderKit, which will be this one, 3D View, BlenderKit Online Asset. You will have to enable this by clicking on that square. And you can see that over here we have waiting for demo, so this should load. We also have some video tutorials regarding this, so keep in mind that you can search within a wide variety of categories, as you can see over here. So let's take a look at the functionality. We're gonna have this add-on popping up in the middle of the screen. So this allows us to rapidly add models. For example, if I want to add this car, I can just drag and drop the car. And one of the main advantages is that the 3D models are curated. That means that they are at their true size. And if we're gonna enable material preview, we're gonna see all those materials along the 3D model. So they are currently slowly downloading, since this is, let's say, just a widget that connects to a platform. And we see how they are slowly being downloaded and also visualized within Blender. Now, in my case, they are slowly loading because the GPU is quite old, but on faster computers, it should work a lot faster. And we have that color painting being added. Now we see for the brakes that material, and the tire rims at the end. You can also search within various categories. So we have find models. Over here you can type in, for example, car. Keep in mind that the free version has a total, so the whole Blender kit currently has over 3000 car models. But as you can see, a high amount of those have that lock. So that means you will need BlenderKit Premium. But you can still find free assets like this police sheriff car. If you're gonna search for others, you're gonna see that some of those are not, let's say, available only within the paid version. As you can see, the vast majority are within that paid version, but we also have access to some of those free models. But you'll have to filter them a little bit more. We can also add various elements, for example, a sport car. So I can grab that. And again, we're going to see that all the models would be at their one-on-one scale. So that's really convenient if you want to rapidly create a scene. You can also search, for example, for characters. We're going to see how that will start searching. There are some models that are, let's say, modeled, and some are photogrammetry models. So let me show you some of those. For example, these are photogrammetry models. So as you can see over here, we have this character named Andrew. So we can have that drag and dropped. Or we have John. So now if I will go within the left view, we're gonna see that size of those characters. Keep in mind that within Blender we have the default cube, which is 2 meters. So I will just move this. And as we can see, all those assets are added to scale. So this is really important if you want to rapidly create a scene. You have access to BlenderKit with a wide variety of 3D models. We also have materials. So the following section will be for material. As we can see, for the material section, we have a lot more, let's say, free elements available over here. So for example, if I want to add this decorative tile, I can just drag and drop that, and that will be positioned on the model. Afterwards, if you want to change the shading, you have the possibility to select that, go within shading, and you're gonna see all those aspects regarding the shading. So the material will be over here. So you can change the tiling if you want it to be larger, or you can search for other materials again with drag and drop, and those will be automatically updated. As we can see, for the cube we now have that ore mineral texture that we can rapidly visualize. We also have the possibility to search for a scene over here. So let's add the scene also. I'm gonna search, for example, for something that will be similar to this one. So I will type in a garage. So let's add this showroom. We're gonna see that this will switch the scene after loaded, and I will append to that switch. And we're gonna see the newly seen. So we should move our models over here as well. Now, since I'm on shading with material preview, just like for the car, the materials will slowly be loaded. Let's just wait a little bit for this. Or maybe for this garage, we didn't have out those elements added. Let me check within the shading. So we see over here for the object, we only have a principal BSDF material. That means that in this case, this will be the final scene. So I will search for another one, for example, animated car studio showroom. I will append this within the scene. As we can see, this is a more complex scene. We have the car boundary, the car direction, and a high amount of cameras. So we have the tilted front view. Now, if I'm gonna go within a specific camera, for example, front wheel, this should give us that perspective, and we can also enable the car, which is this one. So I will activate that collection by clicking on over there, and now we see that car popping up, and we have a wide variety of cameras that are predefined, so we can jump within a specific camera by pressing 0 on the numpad. So I will want this front view camera to be enabled. I will click it once over here, and afterwards, if I will click on 0, we're gonna see how that will be changed to the front camera. For example, now I want this back view camera. I will enable it, and afterwards, if I will press 0, I will have that preview. And we also have the possibility to search for high dynamic range images that we can add within our scene, and we can also add various brushes, mainly for the sculpting environment over here. So if you are just getting started with Blender, I highly recommend that you install BlenderKit, since this is also available within the free version, and will really speed up your workflow within Blender. So if you enjoy this content, please consider to leave me a comment. I will also position a similar video to the left and a subscribe button to the right. Thanks for watching.